Hello, future bestsellers, friends, NaNoWriMoers. We are very, very glad to see you guys today. Happy November. So before we get started with our writing sprints today, I would like to go around and introduce my fabulous co-host, Carol Brown. I'm going to start with you today. Welcome. Tell us a little about you.
Hello, my name is Carol Brown. I'm tired. I wrote those books over there, except for that one, because I'm working on that one right now. I came here today to work on a manuscript that I'm kind of affectionately calling Blood in the Rain right now. There's like the first oh shit chapter that I've been putting off, and I'm finally going to write it today. And I would like to have it finished before I go and take a nap. Those are my goals right now.
Nice. Right now. Love that. That is awesome. Is this a project that you were working on for Nano?
No, I'm not actually doing Nano, or I guess I am, but in like a Nano Rebel kind of way.
Right.
The Rebel part actually has to do with Caro's Tarot. It's this one I have on the wall, and it's me working on fleshing out all the details of the tarot cards. So what I have set up on there is I have a card drawing that I'm actually paying somebody else to do. I've got a song for that meaning, a quote, the keywords, and then it breaks down the card talk, the meaning itself, how it represents a person, a situation, and then I do all of that again for the inverse. Mm-hmm. So actually, this was my project last Nano.
Yeah, that's true, wasn't it? Did you guys see Carol's video that she just did for AUTHORTUBE? She just did it like a whole tarot reading. It was very cool. Oh, yeah. It was very cool. If you have not seen it, you should definitely check it out. I will link to it down in the description, which I meant to do earlier.
I appreciate the plug-in. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Well, thank you for being here today. As always, we also have our friend Doll Cecil Runo here today. Doll, tell us a little about you.
Hello there, humans. I am Cecil Runo. I'm a blind storyteller for introspective readers, and I am working on video scripts for 2022 because that's my NaNoWriMo project. I am a Nano rebel, as usual, as always. I never did Nano like the right way. I am always a rebel, always. So I'm working on video scripts. I am on day 3 and script number 3 out of now 16. I was going to do 12. No, I changed my mind. I'm going to do 16 now, and different scheduling, uploading, whatever. But yeah, that's what I'm up to. I hope it works. We will see. Subscribe to my channel for 2022 madness. Thank you.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
I'm not hearing anybody again.
I'm
in silent mode.
So, Robert and
we hear you, Robert.
We hear you. We hear you. So Robert and Michelle popped in. Robert might have to pop back out and come back, but I don't know. He can't hear us. We'll see what he does. Okay, so in the meantime, Sako, please tell us a little about you and your channel.
Howdy, neighbors. I'm Sako Toomey, also known as Cass Voigt. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those 3 things. If you're interested in videos that pertain to marketing for authors, I have a whole playlist of them on my channel, Sako Toomey, Cass Voigt, and it's not just me talking. It's also like Lisa and BC Brown and Courtney Project and a whole bunch of other people. So please to be dropping by. I would love to see you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being here, Sako. Michelle is here today.
Hello.
Hello. Tell us all about you and your wonderful channel.
All right. I'm Michelle. I'm a middle grade and young adult author, and my channel is writing vlogs and traditional publishing chat. And we will be talking about the DOJ suing Penguin Random House, right? Because I'm like throwing a fucking party over here. And we're doing writing workshops. That's my channel.
Yes, we are definitely going to be talking about that, fellow Penguin author. Yeah, we are going to talk about that. Okay, story detective Robert Jones is here. Can he hear us?
I can now hear you, yes.
Yay! All right, fantastic. Tell us a little about you and your awesome channel.
My channel is The Story Detective, where we take all forms of storytelling, put it under a Sherlockian microscope, and break down the craft and give it to the viewer to make your craft journey easier. And I also do tech reviews. I do have a series that just went up that my channel is reactivated. So there will be, I'm not sure if it'll be a weekly video, but it'll be as much as I can do until I get the next series rolling with some shorter stuff in between.
Vibes.
Awesome. Very, very nice. I'm very glad that you are here today. Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa Daly. I'm a traditionally published author and hybrid author. But on my channel, we talk about how to write a book you're super proud of and get it published. And I'm very excited about Nano, even though I too am being a Nano rebel this year. I will be working on a nonfiction project. So yay, I'm very excited about that. Okay, so let's say hi to some of our friends in the comments. And we had some good questions. JL is back. She said she missed the last couple of weeks. We are very happy to see you again. And you are first. Very nice. And she has questions if we have time. Definitely, I think you had some good questions in there. Thank you, JL. Claude is here. Hello. Oh, he decided October 31st to do Nano, so he's going to be purely pantsing and loving it so far. Awesome.
Nice. Well done.
That's really cool. Very cool. All right. So, JL, I'm going to come back to your questions, and we are going to say hi to a couple other folks in the chat. I do think we should talk about Penguin. It's kind of a big deal, and I think it's I want to hear what you guys think about it. Okay, so Debbie is here. Hello, Debbie. We're very glad to see you today. Maya's here. Hi, Maya.
Hi, Maya.
Yeah, we should definitely talk about it, 'cause this is the first time I've heard of it. Oh, lag.
Oh, it's big. It's big. But I think you guys,
Okay.
I think everybody will have an opinion. It's pretty easy to understand what's happening. So hold on just one second. Who else did I miss? JC is here. Hello, JC. We're very glad to see you today. Yeah, I'll give you guys a minute if you're not familiar yet. Everybody on the panel, take a quick peek and look it up to see what's going on. And then we can just chat about it. Maya's here.
I'm just gonna wait for the chat about it updates, and then I might have an opinion. But
okay. All right. Well, yeah, it's like one of those. Yeah, it's one of those things. Okay, Jeannie Marcel is here. All right, fantastic. We're very glad to see you. Mint Ghost is here.
Hi, Mint.
Yay. Mint is going to be working on Nano Daily Goal today. That is fantastic. You guys, let us know in the chat what you will be working on today. And before we go to our 5-minute sprint, we will do a quick little roundup of what everybody's working on. Devin, I'm so happy to see you today.
Howdy.
Howdy back. All right. Aphrodite's here. Aphrodite, send me a Facebook text. I noticed something that you said in the chat last week, and I didn't see it until after the stream ended. So send me a quick email or message on Facebook, and I'd love to chat about it.
Speaking
Hello.
of Aphrodite,
Yeah.
I want to do a quick plug on her hardcover book because
Ooh.
I picked it up, not just because I wanted to support, but because I wanted to see how her formatting went together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a nice little self cover, and
Look
the
at
formatting
that.
inside is just beautiful. You guys have to see this, how it's well spaced, it's well printed.
Wow.
And at the beginning of the chapters, there's like this little graphic, if I can find it there.
Yeah,
cool.
love it.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
And look
Very
how
nice.
nice and
This is
square
for
this book
Shattered,
is bound.
right?
This is a beautiful book.
It is a
Yeah,
beautiful
it's
book.
Shattered. Yes.
So I'm guessing that she has taken Amazon's new hardcover printing out for a spin, but I'm dying to know how you did it. And Aphrodite,
Me too.
tell us what you did, what program you used to format that book. I'm very excited about it, and inquiring minds want to know.
We demand answers.
Aw, thank you very much. So yeah, we definitely want to talk about that. All right. So the funny thing is that Aphrodite had said something last week about she'd like to come on sometime as a co-host, and again, I didn't see it until after the stream ended, and so that was what I was talking about. So we should talk about it, and we'll talk about the book in detail. But I want to know about her.
Whoa!
What?
She said no. Aphrodite says I formatted this in Word. Are you?
Yeah,
kidding?
you can.
What?
Yeah, you can do it in Word.
That's
Nice.
fantastic. Well,
You
especially
are-
if you work on a Mac, you can do it in Word.
Lady, you are giving me hope.
That's fantastic. Tina's here. It's very. Hi, Tina. It's very nice to see you today. Jaded Filmmaker is back. Oh, we're super glad
Hey, good to see you.
Yeah, very nice. Nina's going to be working on her Nano project. Aphrodite's got a new video she's working on.
Cool.
Maya will be working on editing Nano Day 1 vlog. Very nice. Jennifer, you're not that late. We're very glad you made it. All right.
No relation.
Exotic expression dance fitness. Love it. Working on my nonfiction book about using sensual dance for self-expression and self-exploration for the everyday person. I love that.
I am like hopefully on that list to read that book. That's
I think that's a great topic. All right, that's cool, right? Don't you feel? I mean, I will even have like a little dance party sometimes when I'm. Is someone like at Cape Canaveral on the rocket launch today?
I live right next to a military base.
It's not me.
That's funny. Okay, sorry. It's like, oh, airplane. Okay, so Mary's here. Hi, Mary. Only going to be on for 20 minutes. So I have to leave for campus. I agreed to fill in for one of my coworkers. Oh, we're super glad that you are here today. All right, here we go. Okay, so JL is bringing up something. Let's talk about the Penguin deal. So Penguin, which is now Penguin Random House something. It like the 57 other publishing houses it has eaten, wants to buy Simon and Schuster. And and the Department of Justice has basically sued to block Penguin from purchasing Simon and Schuster because they say that Penguin Random House would, quote, exert outsized influence, meaning that they would be a monopoly. And there is some truth to that, right? The big, we had the big 6 for a while, and that became the big 5, and now the big 4. And if Penguin eats Simon and Schuster, that would be the big 3. And
this is so like Lockwood and Co., the Jonathan Stroud series about the ghost hunters and whatever, like ghost destroyer agencies, and how they eat one another, and the big agency just keeps eating the smaller one. I'm like, oh dear, I already read about this, and it's awful.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you really want to get into it, all these companies are actually owned by one company in Germany.
Yeah. No, yeah. All back to one source. It's true.
Yeah. Yeah. And so what happens though is that, 30 years ago, if you wanted to sell a book to a publisher, your agent had hundreds of options to choose from, lots of medium and even lots of large size publishers. But then we've had like all of these various entertainment mergers and publishing mergers, and it's now you don't have very many options, and that's never good when creators have one place or two places to sell their work.
So like if you don't fit with the narrative that particular editor wants in books, then you don't have a place. There's no place in the market for you. And there is a place. It's just that particular editor didn't like your style or whatever. Right. I am so done with it. Oh, I better shut up because
Yeah, I was about to say, you got her on a tangent.
Well,
be here for a while.
As Caro said, we've always had like literally a handful of people making decisions for the entire entertainment world. But I've been wondering how Penguin Random House was going to do this for about a year when they started gobbling up everything from comic books to all of these other companies. And I was like, wow, this is really becoming a monopoly fast.
Yeah. Right.
And then you're going to have really, yes, those fewer people just saying this is the way it is. You're either kowtowing to our needs or you're just not going to get published.
Right.
And that's not good.
And I want to speak to that real quick because this isn't a new conversation. This has been had for at least the last 5 years actively, especially here on YouTube. So, for example, one of the people I do remote work for, he's a comic book commentator, and he's been talking about this for a long time because, unfortunately, what a lot of people don't like to acknowledge when it at least comes to comic books, and, it comes to publishing too, is that comic books and publishing houses are script factories for the movie industry.
Yeah.
Yes.
So...
And they all emulate one another. So, yes, it all feeds into the same pot.
Well,
And
and the other thing, oh, go ahead, Michelle. You
I was
talk.
just going to say, right now I would say so is YA. Somebody made a joke recently about how YA has been taken over by failed screenwriters. Like it's just the thing you do now if you want a movie deal. You write a YA book.
Yeah.
And I hate that, but I feel like there's some truth in there too.
Yeah, I think there definitely is some truth in there.
I'm just gonna say it all feels very hopeless. I'm querying at the moment, and my story, I know it doesn't fit in whatever the market wants, and I'm like, oh shit, should I just give up?
No.
I feel like this.
So that's yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, we're all getting on a soapbox, so I'll get on mine too. So the problem with the industry trying to tell us what is okay and is not okay is that obviously we all have thoughts and opinions of our own. And what they're seeing and they really don't like is a lot of independent people are rising up and basically having their shit crowdfunded. You can go, if you go on to Kickstarter, you can go on Indigo, and you will find a lot of independent creative projects right there. And they are getting backed within an hour at like 300% because they're selling something that people want. And that's pissing off the traditional industries on all fronts because they're like, that's not what we want you to buy. We want you to buy our shit. And people are like, no, I'm going to go put my money somewhere else. So I really wouldn't be hopeless about it because there are options. You just have to look for them.
There are. And
Agreed.
the big publishers are not, this is actually what I want to say goes right in with what you have just said. The other part of that is that even if you want to be traditionally published, while the big publishers become more and more homogenous, there are small and mid-sized publishers that are out there that are publishing LGBTQ or just mysteries or just urban fantasy. Like there are a lot of like small and mid-sized publishers where you're still being traditionally published, and your advance is probably not going to be as big, but they're also going to probably spend a lot more time and energy trying to make your book go. And the other thing is
that's what I want. That's all I want.
Yeah. And the other thing that is important to know here is that the other thing Carol said, which is that readers don't want everything all the same. And they have made that abundantly clear. And so for people who publish what readers want, as long as you can find a way to connect with those readers, you're going to sell books. So
we can hope that that's the case, but I guess getting on my soapbox for a minute, being that I worked for some of the bigger comic companies, and they had house styles. And when a style sells, they will try to push the people that are doing that style, and everybody else gets left back in the pack. So
That's
you
true.
can be diverse and emulate the style. And the problem with that is once it goes out of style, you can get swept out to sea very fast because they'll think that's all you're good for.
That's
So
true.
it's a real dangerous situation.
It is. And another way that it's dangerous is what happened several years ago. I guess it's probably been 10 years now, where the DOJ, which is kind of funny to think that the DOJ sort of have an author's backs on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But the DOJ also sued, I think at the time it was the Big Six company, Big Six publishing houses, for price fixing because they were trying to out Amazon by price fixing the ebooks, which to be $9.99, and at the time Amazon would undercut other sellers like Barnes and Noble. They would pay the publishers the full price, but they would actually sell the book as a loss leader, so they'd sell it as a discount. And the publishers did not want to see the price of ebooks driven down, which by that time it was already kind of too late. But the other thing is, so they did this price fixing with Apple where you couldn't price it. You had to price an ebook at like $9.99. But the difference is that it doesn't matter what price Amazon sells it. If they're paying the author royalties on a, let's say, $20 book, and your publisher's making a deal that book has to be sold at $10, you're making half the royalties. And that was, the publishers were actively working against the authors by doing that to sort of shut Amazon out. So anyway, I could talk about this all day. JL had an opinion. She said they should all be broken up into individual houses to loosen their control over the market and give smaller houses a chance at obtaining great titles. Just my 3 cents worth.
They should, but business laws are changing so fast.
Yeah.
And they don't benefit the small. They don't benefit
No.
the small. Yeah.
They all
It's all
benefit the big
about
company, and
Yeah.
a lot of that trickles down. You see people living their lives like a business. It's almost like a group mentality now, to the point
Yeah.
where you're doing it,
Capitalism.
but what you're doing is not going to benefit you as an individual or as a small business. It's
Right.
beneficial to bigger business, but you know.
Right. Right. Exactly. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get started with our 5-minute warm up. It is NaNoWriMo, and we are here to write today. So we're going to start with our 5-minute, and then we are going to come back and we will chit chat a little more. But we are going to get some writing done today, peoples. All right. Here we go. I'm just going to do the lead out for the 5 minutes. So for all of you guys who are with us today, let's get our projects. Whoa, it's starting without us. Let's get our projects ready and get your water and use the restroom if you need to do that, or get your snacks or your chocolate or whatever you need. And we are going to get going and sprint for a quick 5 minutes, and then we'll be back for a little more chit chat, and then we'll get going with our regular 20-minute writing sprints. So thanks for being here today. Let's get going in 3, 2, 1, sprint. All right, we are back. Mute everybody muted. All right. Ah, okay. I can't. Okay, there we go. Wait, I think I keep unmuting my Michelle and then muting her back again. Okay, so I think
At
we're
least
all
I got
set
that good
now.
lag today.
Lisa's got that good lag. Yeah.
Is it bad? I'm so sorry, you guys. I don't know what it could be. I have like my little thing says I have full power, but for whatever reason, I've been super laggy today. So, all right. Thanks very much, everybody. So, I want to talk about, because it's the start of NaNoWriMo, I want to make sure that even though many folks in our chat today are not working on NaNoWriMo projects, I want to go ahead and just have everybody tell what they're working on today. And that includes everybody in the chat. Devin says the music makes me want to dance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too. I can't help myself. Kibby's here. Hi, Kibby. We are very glad to see you today. Justin Case is here. Very nice to see you.
Hi,
and
Justin.
Walter Jones is here. Hello. We're very glad to see you. All right. So everybody in the chat, let us know what what you're working on. Jaded Filmmaker says, I thought I was going to have to write to that music. No, it just lets you know when it's over. So, all right. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Debbie is working on inking a comic page today. Sako, what are you working on today?
I am actually, for the first time in a decade, I am starting with a new story, new characters, new outline, new everything. And I paid for a month on For the Words to kind of like try and put a fire under my ass. And so I'm nanoing like traditional, like for the first time in 10 years.
Awesome. Yay. Fantastic. Very nice. All right, Michelle, what are you working on today?
I am working on my mystery book, and I actually am taking what I've written in my notebook and transferring it into Scrivener and like expanding on every scene, because in writing all of this, I have learned a lot about the beginning that's made some changes, you know? So
Right.
a more correct rough draft.
Absolutely. I love that. So when you write, so this is my challenge with Scrivener, which I love. I love it in the beginning when I'm first starting to draft, because I put all my little note cards in as individual scenes. But then when it's big, even though you can like go to the manuscript tab, for whatever reason, like I end up having to like kind of print it out to edit it more.
I always do it. Yeah.
Me too.
All right. So I'm very glad to hear that you're working on your mystery today, because I'm very excited to read it soon. Story Detective, what are you working on today?
Well, I did decide to join NaNoWriMo on October 31st as well. I'm working on a new draft of my manuscript, and it's kind of being a nano rebel because it's not exactly an original story, but I don't plan on winning or hitting 50K. I'm doing it just to force myself to have some writing time each day, because life is going to be pretty busy this month. We're either getting our ducks in a row to move before spring this month, or we're not. So there's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on. Let's not say you're going to force yourself to write. Let's say that you're making space in your schedule as a priority to write. All right. Cecil Runo, what are you working on today?
I am working on script number 3 out of 16 as my YouTube video script for 2022 project. That's my nano. I am super rebel.
Yay!
and I improved my plan. It was going to be 12, but now I'm going to do 16 scripts, and I'm going to do more videos instead of one per month. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. And my current script is precisely my personal YouTube growth strategy for 2022. So if you are interested in alternatives for the general writing advice about you have to upload every week or twice a week and grind. If you want something different that could also work for you as an artist first, YouTuber second, then stay tuned, because I'm working on that today.
That sounds pretty cool. All right, Kara, what are you working on today? I think you told us, but we have a lot of people who dropped in afterwards. So
I am working on my manuscript that I have affectionately called Blood in the Rain. I'm writing the big oh shit chapter today. And I have to write it because I want a nap and I can't take a nap until I write it. So
right on.
Yeah.
Well, that seems like a fair deal. I would go with the nap first, but that's me.
No, I'm with Caro. I don't eat until I finish my writing for the day.
Okay, that's a line I won't cross. I will eat first.
I have the past year or two, I have been like really working on not using self-care as a reward. And actually like involving self-care in the schedule instead.
I know. I should explain myself. I mean, I lunch after I'm done for the day, and that keeps me on track. Instead of writing the whole day, just 200 words. I know. I just get those whatever many words I need before lunch. That's what
I also find that if I make the day shorter, then I actually get a lot more done in the shorter amount of time than if I had been writing for 8 hours.
Cool. That's awesome. All right. Margaret's here. Hello. We're very glad to see you. Aphrodite weighs in on this. She says, I can't sleep or eat until I write, LOL, but I swear writing is part of my mental care. Yes, exactly. All right. We had some comments, you guys. I want to go back a little bit because we did not really go to the comments on what everybody was saying about publishing. So let me just go back here and see what we've got. All right. So JC says, so basically Penguin is trying to become the Facebook of the publishing industry. There's some truth to that. JL says HarperCollins did something similar years ago, never got into any real trouble. Same news, different page. Yep. Justin said, when I began writing, we didn't need agents. The publisher, I don't know why I felt compelled to do that. Publishers didn't care if the story matched the machine. Amazon and social media didn't exist, and nobody self-published. Aphrodite says, never feel hopeless. Your story freaking matters, regardless of the big heads. Super true. JL says mid-list authors with large houses don't necessarily get big advances anymore.
If they ever
true. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If they ever did. True. Justin says reality is most authors from small houses who left to the benefit of large don't make more than 5% extra. Better stay at a small who cares for you than go to a large who doesn't. I will say I do consulting work for a small mystery publisher, and two things that I've found fascinating. The first is most of our authors are series authors, and they and so that's like a large part. Like if you're a debut author there, you probably are starting a new series, and if you're already there, then you're somewhere in the middle of your series. A bunch of those authors have hit the USA Today bestseller list, which is pretty phenomenal. And the other thing is that they, you know how like before you became an author, how you would see movies and think that that's how publishers treated authors, like they were really nice to you and they know your wife's name or your dog's name or whatever.
Lies. Lies.
It's all bullshit.
But they do there. And I just think like that was the thing that struck me, right? I'm like, they like saw, it's like when aliens from outer space come watch movies and try to acclimate, like not in a movie, right? They watch movies to try to acclimate to what they think people are really like. And I always got the sense like that they watch movies about publishing and we're like, okay, that's how we do it. And but I have never experienced that anywhere else. Aphrodite says money always trumps humans, so unfair. True.
It does. There's a sidebar to this for self-publishing as well. I mean, they mentioned like Penguin becoming the next Facebook, but all big businesses have the same under the bottom line, which is money. More is more. Right. And that's why Amazon has up to like publishing 12 times a year from 6. And this is, I was going to make a video on this about harsh writing advice, but I'll put it out there to the people today here, and you can let me know if you want to see more on this. But we know, all of us here know, that looking at self-publishing, there's millions of people doing it, and so few people are breaking out and having quality of craft. Everybody is following that company guideline to rush to publication, and that just makes Amazon richer. And the fact that they're not even like standing behind quality and upping it, that just says, well, we have so few people with small followings. We only get money when they come out with something new. So let's up the game and have them produce more, less quality, but more often. So we kind of get the platform we deserve if we don't wise up and say, hey, we need to actually put out something that's quality. Forget the guidelines of what they're trying to put out, because that's going to be detrimental to you as a writer, and it's going to hurt your career ultimately.
This is the same thing I am approaching YouTube as. Like, YouTube doesn't give a about you as a creator. They just want you to produce to keep people glued to their platform, and they make the money, not you.
It's all the same. More equals more, but not for us.
If you hit the 1,000 subscribers in watch time, it's the same. Yeah. It's the same thing. Don't rush to do things just because everybody tells you to rush. Do what works for you. That's I this script, in the 5-minute sprints that we did, I just wrote, this is my FU year to all the people telling us to rush and do things quickly.
Well, on that note, let's on the year of Doll's year of FU, which is now a thing. Let's talk a little bit about, I'm just going to go through some of our comments and talk about what everybody's working on. And then we are going to hit it with our first 20-minute sprint. All right. So Minko says my nano project, I guess, is the thriller. Let's talk about that.
Me too.
Mary, congratulations. Mary finished my goal list with a new gratitude journal, daily planner, and started getting stuff together for work. Awesome. Just in case, busy prepping for upcoming weekend Copenhagen Book Fair. Have to finish a commission story for a Canadian journal. No time for nano. I get that. I've had that lots of years. Aphrodite is doing a pick a card reading and having a ball pick a pile reading.
Oh,
awesome.
Pick a pile reading. Awesome.
Cool. JL is doing final edits beyond but necessary. Aphrodite can't seem to word today. I understand that. Words? Jeannie Marcella says she loves Scrivener, but over the years it's gotten stale. Switch over to Dabble. I'll be switching platforms when Dabble starts to bore me.
I do like Dabble.
Yeah, I have not used Dabble, but I have. I've definitely heard good things about it. Randy, hi Randy, love that. That's pretty cool. The thing that sucks about choosing quality over quantity is that unless everyone is on board, then people would take advantage and publish frequent subpar work.
Yes, they are taking advantage of creators, and it's impossible to get everyone on board, but I do think a small amount of people can make a difference, because even if you get a handful of people that increases the number of books that are selling and have quality and prove the quality can sell, then people are more in line to say, hey, that person's making better sales than me. Maybe I better sit back and do something differently. You have to live by example.
Please your readers, not the machine. Please your readers, not the machine.
Well, and the truth is that I think some creators like just write at that kind of pulp speed, and that's what they're happiest doing. But there are a lot of readers or a lot of writers who are probably publishing a couple books a month right now, trying to earn a living, and they probably don't want to write that fast. In their hearts of hearts, they don't want to have to be publishing at that rate.
I have to throw this out there because it's an unpopular opinion. But some readers don't care.
That is true, and
is true.
In specific genres, there are some readers who really don't care. They want more.
Yeah, there's a romance series. If you ask me, I think it's complete garbage. But because of the concept is solid. I absolutely love the concept, but the writing's terrible. There's no descriptions. Okay, so true story, like I said, it's romance. So I came for the D. There's never any description of any of that in there. So I always feel cheated when I look at this. And I say always because I am one of those people that keeps coming back and buying the next book because I have to know what happens.
What
in the
happens
series.
next? Yeah. I know. That's right. And so you're frustrated with it, and yet
I'm coming back.
You're not so frustrated that you don't.
That is true. That's for certain genres that happens. I just so happen to be a very demanding reader, and I am writing for the same type of readers. So I know that I have to go for quality. Yeah,
exactly. I see you have the timer up. You have the timer up. I see it.
Do.
Let's sprint.
I do. I didn't mean to like, but
it's time for sprinting.
All right, you guys. So here we go. Let's do a little sprint. I'm going to let, since I interrupted Carol with my nonsense, I'm going to let you do the pep talk first. I know you're like, oh, thank you. Are you flipping me off underneath the microphone thing?
No.
Okay. Will you give us a pep talk, please? Thank you.
Yes, I would love to give you all a pep talk. Hello, everyone. It is day 3 of Nano, and I know that you are starting to feel the loss of caffeine because you decided to chug coffee for the last 3 days, and now we're here, and you still have words to write, and you're going to fucking write them because I fucking told you to, all right? So get that keyboard ready, roll your shoulders back, unclench your jaw. I know you did that. Unclench it, and look at your keyboard, and get ready to write in 3, 2, 1.
All right, this is kind of funny. Like I was trying to be all prepared this time, you guys. And so I unmuted the mics like 3 seconds before the timer went off, just in time for Robert to go. so you guys knew that was our warning sign that we had 3 seconds left to go. So anyway, hello, welcome back. We have had some new friends come on in and take off. Just in case had to leave, we no street lamps in the forest. That makes perfect sense. All right, Justin, we are so glad that you made it today. Oh, we'll see you next week. Hi, Spence. Spence made it today. We're very glad to see her. Love that update to your avatar. That's sort of funny. Kibby is very excited to see you. Very nice. Allie Alexis is here. We are very happy to see you. Very nice. She says, much love to everybody. Hi, Lisa Carol Dahl, Sacco Michelle, and Detective. We are very, very glad to see you. All right, you guys, how did we do today? Judy Marcella says, typing hands aren't moving as fast as I want to them. My coffee is defective. Wake up.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Ditto.
I feel that. I did not do my, I have no idea. I wrote through the whole thing, but I did not check my word count.
I did 534 this time. For the whole stream, that's where I'm at, 534.
Good for you. Nice job. Mint Ghost. Why does everybody have mute mic? Is that just me? Wait, never mind. Okay, not bad. 405 words. Not bad. That's freaking awesome. I had to do some research, but got a good sprint. Very nice. Congratulations. Jeannie Marcella, 212 words. Let me just tell you something about 212. For me, that is a magic number, and that is because my kids went to a school where the whole thing was like 212, 212, 212. And the reason that 212 was such an important number for them was that this concept that water at 211 degrees is just really hot water. But when it hits 212, it boils, and boiling water creates steam, and steam can power a train. And the whole idea is this one extra degree of effort between 211 and 212 is the difference between, champions and people who got this close. So 212.
I like this.
Is a magical, powerful number. So congratulations on that.
This script is at 950 words at the moment.
Look at you. Very nice. Allie says, for some reason, my stream was on minus 35 minutes.
Oh, weird.
That is weird. Real glad. Spence says, I got here and a bowl of breakfast, lunch, noon soup. Randy is here. Randy got 481 words. Look at you. Nice job. Shayla's here. Congratulations, Shayla. We are very, very glad to see you. Margaret got in 2 pages of morning pages, which felt right today. Good for you. Mary's back.
Uh-oh.
All right. Uh-oh. Is that me?
She got that good lag.
You're back.
What is happening to me today? Oh my gosh. All right. If I start talking like a robot, somebody...
It's not even you talking like a robot. You just literally stop moving, and we're just kind of sitting here watching your frozen face. Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Emily said, well, hopefully I'm posing like in a cool way, like, hey, let me tell you about this, and not like that. Okay. Emily, would it be bad if I just froze right then? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Emily got 306 words. Not bad. That's awesome.
Not bad.
Very, very nice. JC got 311. Woo. Margaret says 212, also the area code for New York City, in case anyone wondered what nonsense was taking up room in my brain. Internet ghouls. Very good. All right. Mary, you did not make me freeze. Allie says, quick, somebody make an internet god sacrifice. And the internet needs coffee. Spence says Lisa temporarily entered a different dimension than the rest of us, but I'm back. I'm back now. All right. Coffee, right? Coffee sacrifice. All right, let's go around really, really fast and talk about how we did. And then we're going to go do another sprint because I really want to make sure everybody's getting their word counts in for Nano. So I'm going to start with you, Robert. How'd you do on the last one?
I did pretty well. I'm finding my bearings here and just got an idea to add some cool stuff to a scene that I was working on. Also, if I might, I want to take a step back and add to this conversation about readers don't care. Because this is a thing that I've heard in the behind the scenes conversation. Readers don't care.
I am a reader too, and I care, and I have very high standards. So
characters don't matter.
I said some readers
dialogue
don't care.
Doesn't matter. It goes down the hill, and this is all things that make those editors and bigger companies push you harder to get more. Granted, that's not to say that you shouldn't up the quality, because they're not going to hire you unless you are on a certain high level of quality, because when the deadline hits, we all have to fall back on our instincts and produce something, quickly. But the flip side, or the downside of that, is when you get pushed for, say, you get your first big break, and then all of a sudden it becomes like an endless deadline crunch. If you're in a situation where you're trying to meet goals that are higher and higher every year, the burnout factor works in there. So 10 years from now, or say you reach the age of 35 and you start slowing down a little bit because you want to enjoy the life that you've been investing all this time in, suddenly you're not as fast, and you'll find yourself in a line behind the next young, fast, talented kid that they hire and put in front of you, or they'll sweep you out altogether.
Thank you for saying that.
Everyone who's in the business will tell you that the entertainment world is not kind to age, and they're not kind to people who aren't meeting their deadlines. So when the deadlines become that big push, like everybody is upping in the monopoly of the big business, it's not good for creators. It's not good for the life of your creating. Anyway, that's my second.
When I hit
so much for it's true. Thank you so much for mentioning that. Any industry in general is not going to be kind for people with disabilities, people who are chronically ill, people with just naturally being slower than the average fast, young, grinding, whatever creative. It is just the reality of the thing. So thank you so much for bringing that up, because it is very important. You have to take into consideration that we are aiming for the long run, not just the here and now.
That is
Craft also takes a hit in there too. I see people that are traditionally published, and they have editors who are not putting in the beginning of a novel what should be there. Books that could sing aren't singing. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Carol.
We need to do a sprint. Let's just save the combo for after the next one.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. That sounds like a good plan.
Sprint.
Sprint. All right. Let's do a little screen share. Here we go. I like it fast and dirty because I'm a romance writer. So here we go. We are all ready. We are going to get ready for our next sprint. We're doing 20 minutes on the clock.
Yes.
Yes. Hold on. Let's see if I got this. Wait, let's try that again. We see it all? There we go. All right, everybody. Let's get ready to 3, 2, 1. Right. All right, everybody. Let me get rid of this screen here. There we go. All right. How did everybody do on that last stream? I hope it was great. All right. So let's go to the comments really fast because we had some folks pop in while we were writing. So there we go. Jeannie Marcella said, like, great. Okay. So I thought this was really nice. She said, hold on. Oh, first time I've ever done one of these word sprints on YouTube. It's actually really nice to virtually write with other people. We agree. And we are so happy that you are here today. Guess who came in? Tamara. We're very excited to see you. Yay. We're very excited.
I love the right stuff discussion yesterday, Tamara. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so sorry that I missed it. So was it yesterday? Yes.
On Twitter.
On Twitter. Yeah. Yes. I'm sorry. I also missed Saturday's awesome chat about the book of the month, and I'm very disappointed that I missed that. So Allie wanted to know who's doing Nano here. I am. I'm 2,000 words behind.
I'm like 4,000. Oh my gosh, I'm so behind.
Surprisingly, I am very caught up. Actually, I am over the word count. How is should we reach? What is the goal for the third day?
Oh well, so it's 1666 a day.
It's like 4,000, give or take.
Well, 1667 technically. So 5,001.
5,
so that's yeah. So you hit 5,000.
I am way over 5,000 already. So I'm fine.
Good.
You're on
Good job.
I'm not even aiming for word count. I just want my 16 video scripts. But yeah, I am on target.
Good job. Good job. All right. So Exotic Expression Dance Fitness said, was hoping to keep my book to 200 pages. I'm up to 240. Whoops. You know what? You got to write as many pages as you need to tell what you got to tell.
You can edit the fluff later. Just focus on writing those pages right now.
Yeah.
Well, she's in the editing stage, so she's.
Oh, okay.
240 is not. That's not bad. She's writing nonfiction. I don't think that's bad at all. Like that's like right in the. It's right in the sweet spot. All right, Allie had to work Halloween night, so she forgot to start Nano. That's okay. Devin says, I wish I was 35 in 10 years. I feel you, baby. Mary says, don't feel bad. I forgot to. There we go. Mostly written, trying to edit it down so the information is easy to digest and remember. Also want the tips to be an easy reference. I like my most popular video, or one of my most popular videos, is all about how to structure a self-help book or a nonfiction book. So you might want to check that out if you are if you want to make sure that that information is easy to digest and remember. There's actually a really solid strategy on how to do it. Okay, look who it is, Jaded Filmmaker, 3 a.m. there, time to go to bed. We are so happy. We are so happy you stayed up for us today. Oh my gosh. She needs dogs to make lunch for her. How do you work that out? I bet Carol could train dogs to make lunch. All right. Laura has hit her 5K for Nano so far. Woo! That means you're on track. Awesome. Very nice. Lots and lots of congrats for Laura. We're super proud of you. And StreamYard just jumped. All right. Very nice. Tamara's going to catch up on some admin stuff, a little back and forth with them. Mint Ghost says another research sprint. Spence is eating. She's working on her soup. She's got 500 soup slurps under her belt today. Randy's ahead. Almost hit 10K. Look at you. It's always good to bake those words during Nano for sure. Kibby says, no idea if I'm ahead or behind. Just keep going until the end. That's how I do it. Author JC Carpenter, 417 words. Very, very nice. You guys are awesome. I'm so proud of you. Okay. Kibby wants a dog that can make me a drink with the lunch.
Yeah.
Odin's too short. He can't reach the refrigerator. So, he can make the drink, but it I like the ice. Okay. So we have it's 12:37. We have enough time for one more sprint. So what do you guys think about that? Yeah,
I am here for it.
Sprint or
Let's
chat?
sprint.
Sprint or chat? Sprint? Okay.
Sprint.
All right.
Sprint!
Hang on just 1 second.
Also, Justin's
right.
back. Yay!
Yay, Justin, we're glad. Can you not sleep from staring at your computer? Yes, we're doing another sprint. Yes, yes, yes. All right, here we go. Hold on. Let me make this work. Share my screen. You guys need to know exactly. This is what it's like to be in my office. Even when I am not live streaming, I am constantly talking to myself all day long. So if you were just hanging out in the next room, you'd hear me like blah, blah, blah. All right, everybody, let's do our last one. Doll, do you want to go ahead and give us our little pep talk before we go?
All right, darlings, it's time for the last sprint of this live stream. It's day 3 of NaNoWriMo. You can do this. It doesn't matter if you're on track or behind. It doesn't matter. You can always catch up. There's energy for you. I'm giving it to you. I'm giving you permission to do what you gotta do. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be right. You just have to write it and get it done. So let's get sprinting in 3 and 2 and 1 and sprint.
I removed myself from the stream, so there's that today. All right,
Oh,
so
boy.
I think there we go. Hold on. Oh, I can't unmute Robert for some reason. Okay. He'd probably like to talk. Maybe he muted himself. Maybe not. He doesn't look like he's.
Can you not hear us?
I don't know. Can you hear us, Robert? You've muted yourself, I think.
Come to the sound of my voice, Robert.
Don't say come to the light. All right. So
There you are.
Yay! Okay, fantastic. All right, I wanted to pop in with a couple of questions or a couple of comments first. So that was our last sprint that we're going to do. We are going to come back. We're going to do a little after party today, which we don't normally do. We usually try to finish up right around 1 o'clock. But Robert had brought up such an interesting point about young creators and the pressure to produce really fast that that I wanted to like go ahead and sort of finish that conversation. So we're going to do that. But I know Michelle usually has to sneak out right at 1 o'clock. So you're making that face. Okay, so so go ahead, and if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and do your outro. Then we're gonna talk to some. We're going to talk about some comments. And then if you want to stay for a few minutes past 1 o'clock, everybody else, we're going to hear what else Robert wanted to say. Okay, so Michelle, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me, Lisa. I'm Michelle Schusterman. I'm a young adult and middle grade author, and my writing channel is writing vlogs and writing workshops and traditional publishing chat.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. We love you. You pop off whenever you need to. We are so glad that you are here, as always, every week. So, all right.
Bye, Michelle. Have a great one.
You too.
All right, everybody. So just in case says, I'm at 14 plus K with my story, which is a problem as the journal's fiction limit is 15K. That is a problem. Look who's back. Paul is here for the second week in a row. Yay. We are so glad to see you, Paul. Very, very nice. He does have to leave early because he's got to do something with his job, but he's going to be with us next week for the full 2 hours. Okay, so just while you guys are here, Dahl reminded me of this today. In the U.S., if you are outside the U.S., you should know this. And in some places in the U.S., we do not have daylight savings time. But where I am in Florida, we do, in fact, have daylight savings time. So we will be here next week at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so however that affects you, I hope it's not a big deal. But I will try and post the stream early for next week, just so you guys can kind of look at YouTube and see what your local time is going to be. So, all right. We also have Kiwi Lord 2 here today. And my first thought was, welcome. And my second thought was, is there a first Kiwi Lord? And then I remembered it's probably Chris Hemsworth. Okay. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Anyway, Kiwi Lord 2, we're super happy that you're here. So
you have to stick with Super Glad. Don't steal my Super Glad from me.
I'm super glad you're here today. Okay, so since you're new to us, you should know that despite my best efforts to contain myself, I could not stop saying super glad. So it's kind of our thing. We are super glad you're here. All right. All right. Exotic Expressions. Dance Fitness says, I wish editing was as fun as writing. We went on to a whole thing about that. I actually love editing. Claude also has learned to appreciate the process since he decided to edit along the way while drafting. Smaller doses work for him. Same. Yeah, good for you too.
Yep. The better I understand the editing, the more I like it, actually.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Very cool. Tamara is on her way. She says, have a great day, everybody. Tamara, thank you so much for being here. Devin says, check out the playlist on my channel for more sprints. Yes, if you want to do a sprint on any day of the week, Devin always has a playlist of everybody who has sprints going on. And that is super, super helpful. So be sure to go subscribe over there because it's really helpful. All right. And Margaret got postcards done for patrons. There were stickers involved. What? Nice. I love stickers. That is really fantastic. Margaret, I'm very interested to hear more about what you have to say about Patreon. So reach out to us. I'd kind of like to know what your experience has been with that. All right. Let's see. JC got 424. Woohoo.
Woo.
Just in case says, hey to Tamara. JL says editing an animal in itself.
It
All right.
really is.
JL asked 2 really awesome questions with a follow-up, and we usually have time to address those. We did not this week, but JL, I'm going to save them and we're going to talk about them next week because I think they were really good questions about how to collaborate with someone else. So let's talk. Let's talk,
Okay.
right? So Robert had something that he wanted to say when we were talking earlier about young creators and the pressure to produce and all of that. And I know a lot of you guys wanted to like hear the rest of that conversation. So if you're here for the chat, let's do some chat. All right. So as you were saying,
well,
that's a terrible lead-in.
Picking up where I left off.
Okay, let's talk about this. When you're young and you work for an ad agency or a newspaper or a comic book or a giant comic book creating conglomerate or publishing, when you're 23, 24 years old, you are trying to prove yourself and you're willing to work around the clock and accept a lot of things that you are not willing to accept once you have proved yourself.
Yeah.
Is that a good place to jump off?
Yeah, it seems like you're on top of the world for a while if you actually get those jobs, but it's it eventually affects creators because you have a limited shelf life. It also affects your health mentally and physically. I mean, there's wear and tear if you actually keep that up for a prolonged period of time. And I actually learned that mentally, it can actually make your IQ points drop significantly to put yourself under a lot of pressure for a prolonged period. And I thought, that's interesting, but I was reading somewhere that it can drop by something like 25 points in some cases. And I was like, that is a lot. But I do remember the sweat and the having to sustain myself for a prolonged period, because that's like the trenches of the trenches kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
I feel like that explains a lot about all of us for 2020, right? We're like, oh, we lost 25 IQ points. And
How has that affected the comic book industry as a rule? And since the whole entertainment world, as we said, emulates one another, right now, there's only so many comic companies. There were only a few that were big. And now that they are doing the movies and comics are becoming a more closed medium, when they hire somebody new, whether you're the hot young thing or not, you have 3 issues to prove yourself. And if the sales don't go up, they'll replace you immediately. So this is the kind of thing that business does when you're looking at removing those rules and putting in place nothing but produce, make money. You're going to make money for us or else.
Right.
And the comic industry is doing this already. So how long before the publishing companies start doing it?
They've already been doing it, though.
Okay.
I think it.
Yeah.
You want to speak on that for a minute?
Yeah. Let Carol. She's got a.
Oh, well, I was going to say, so in publishing, they obviously have like their darlings that they like to take care of, which is where like 90% of their marketing goes. And so what's going to happen is if you come in and I know a lot of people like to write series, and they'll put that they have a series in their query letters, and that used to be kind of a selling point, but now it's not, because what's going to happen is if your first book doesn't actually do very well, you don't get to publish anymore. So
another reason for me to stop querying.
At least with them, you don't get to publish anymore.
Yeah.
But what happens is your first book doesn't sell well, maybe, and you don't have, maybe you don't really have much of a platform, or it, for whatever reason, great books don't connect with audiences on a large scale a lot of the time.
Poor timing, end of a trend.
Timing.
Yeah, you can pick anything,
Yeah, there are lots and lots of reasons why a book doesn't go. But this is the thing, your sales numbers are yours to keep. And maybe the pandemic hit, or maybe there was a recession, or maybe you just missed a trend by 6 months or a year or whatever, or maybe you just got buried by everything else that was out there, or you didn't quite know what you were doing. But that can impact whether or not you are going to get published in the future. And it used to be that publishers would, give you a couple of chances to kind of find an audience and all that. And now they're more likely to kind of cut and run. They're just, your first book doesn't sell through. And that doesn't mean you have to earn out your advance, because they like, for you to earn out your advance is you're doing pretty well, because most authors do not earn out their advances, but the publisher is starting to make money before that happens. So theoretically, you're like at zero when you earn out your advance, but that's not actually how it works.
The bigger companies can. I learned to talk to the right people because I wanted to know what was happening when I'm busting my butt on a project and all of a sudden it's going nowhere. And that's because when you're lost in that crowd of people and their darlings, there's some books that really suffer. Like there is a certain print number to hit for that mid-range sale, which they don't even respect anymore. And that number is dropping, but you'll have bean counters behind the scenes saying, okay, here's the mid-range sale. We're going to cut just enough below that you're guaranteed not to sell. And you're just going to flounder and die on the vine. And I think that's so unfair.
Yeah. It's absolutely true. All right, we have some comments here I want to add in. JL says that will come around and bite them in the ass. Lisa, yes, that is definitely true. It's already happening with how well self-publishing is doing with audio. This is what's really interesting, is that self-publishing is now really leading the way. And if you guys want a big opportunity that has not been saturated in the way that Amazon has, it is audiobooks. It has the biggest amount of growth right now. And it's not because people suddenly, it used to be a lot more unwieldy, but now you can listen to your, to an audiobook on your Alexa or on your phone or a million other places. It is. And it's the same way that Amazon made reading on an e-reader accessible and easy. They're doing the same thing with audiobooks. And they're not the only ones, but they have really helped push that forward. And so now we have an opportunity. Imagine if you could have gotten into Amazon when there were only 300,000 books in the store. Like, think about the possibility there. That audiobooks are expensive to produce, and there are opportunities, especially if you're able to produce it yourself, to really grow there. Aphrodite says, everyone told me that a new adult coming of age tale had no chance. Everyone told me not to bother, but no one will convince me not to do what I want to do or tell a story I want to tell. Good for you. And let me just say, as a person who writes in another dead genre, everything that goes around comes around. All of a sudden, rom-coms are like the new thing again. Everybody wants rom-coms. And for a long time, they're like, oh, that's dead. But that's what I love. So that's what I write. And now it's a popular thing to write again.
Genres only die because once they start getting popular, they flood the market with them until the sales start dropping. And then suddenly they're no good anymore. It doesn't mean that a good story can't sell.
Right.
It just means they're not going to push it in something that they look at as valuable.
Right. You might have a harder time getting a dead genre to be like, I see this with urban fantasy as sort of the next area because it's really saturated. YA really saturated. YA in particular, you can already sort of see the cracks there. But write what you want to write for the audience you want to write for, because it doesn't matter if that's what big publishing says is popular. It just matters whether or not there are readers. Mary says she's really glad that we're sticking around to chat. I have to say, it's stuff like what you're talking about that overwhelms me so much, which is why I decided to step back from all that and only write for fun.
Hear, hear.
Aphrodite says, considering that no one knows who I am, I feel quite proud and so glad I didn't listen. Yay. Very good job.
Yeah.
Just in case says, don't get scared. There are other markets. Yes, that is absolutely the truth.
Justin, I need help with approaching European editors for English manuscripts because I have a feeling that my thing would maybe stick better in Europe I just don't know how to query towards the European market, because when I ask for help in query letters, everyone is like, oh, this is a US form. Oh, you're querying in the UK. Oh, sorry, that's different. And I'm like, oh, oops. So I need help with that. I don't know where to find it though. So if you have any tips.
Yeah, definitely send those along. I think part of it is probably like querying in the UK is probably going to be really natural for a UK agent. But I think I told you the other day, Doll, I saw a big presentation.
Where I'm querying, I would query in Finland if they took English manuscripts, but now they are not taking. I already searched. I would query in Japan if they take me. I don't care where. I just want to get published. That's all I want.
Yeah. Well, there are definitely places. I think I told you, though, I feel like a place like ECW that did a lot of like Nordic manuscripts in English was like with the author. I can't remember what her name was. Julia somebody, right?
Lilia Sigurdardóttir.
Lilia, that's right. Yeah.
But you didn't send me anything about it, so
I will send you the name of the publisher. I believe it was ECW. Margaret says, writes in a dead genre. Like, come again? Nonsense.
Yeah.
Truth, right? Because the readers don't go away. And I think one of the reasons that rom-com has come roaring back in the last year and a half is because there was nothing for such a long time. And the readers were still hungry for that kind of book. And they just came right back. All right.
Yeah.
Jeannie Marcella says, talked to a pubbed author X years ago with 2 novels under their belt. Agent advised them to get a pen name because their sales tanked. That has happened in publishing. That's happened in publishing for a long time. Get a fresh start. You can become a virgin debut author again with a brand new pen name. The crappy thing
I was gonna say, because you know how readers are with their impressions. They're pretty vocal about them.
Yeah. Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
Aphrodite says, oh, yes, my audio version of Encounters did well also, and I think it's the reason the other versions are selling. Very nice. Every time you speak, my parakeet gets excited and starts singing to you. I've never had that happen, but I love it. That's awesome, Aphrodite. Thank you. JL says the market always changes. That's true. That's the only thing that stays the same is that the market always changes.
It does. And you can't really go by all of the hype. I mean, you could be in the middle of writing something you really love and suddenly the hype is against you, but you know, never give up on your dream.
No.
Find a way to make it happen. I mean, the one thing I see, you know, with the YA fantasy, it's no surprise that it's kind of getting saturated because almost everybody is doing it. We have an entire generation that grew up on Harry Potter, and that's the dream. And there's nothing wrong with having that dream. You just need to look at what everybody else is doing. They're all doing Save the Cat, and they're all writing a similar version of a story that's not surprising if you understand those beats. You need to look at other forms of structures, switch it up a little bit. Don't be afraid to look around. I feel like people are afraid because they're telling you stick with your own genre. Just read your own genre. But if you're reading stuff that is very much like Harry Potter and very much like the Save the Cat stuff, you're going to be a clone of a clone of a clone. You have to find your own voice and your own originality in there.
Thank you.
That is. And I think it's interesting when we talk about YA being oversaturated now, because it's almost like this like field of locusts, right? So chick lit was a very popular genre, and it was authors like Jane Green and Sophie Kinsella that sort of brought that genre to the forefront, right? So women who were focused on their careers, and there was a love interest, but it wasn't necessarily a romance. And then that genre really exploded. And so you had all these like romance writers move into chick lit, and they just flooded the marketplace with these, you know, pink pastel covers. And it was, you know, and then there were too many to support the readership, too many books like that. And then what happened is all those same writers moved into YA, and that has happened. And it's not just, on the romance side, it's also fantasy and a bunch of other genres. Like like vampires, you could not sell. I remember when agents used to literally have, here are my submission guidelines, and write in big bold letters, it would say, no vampires, no werewolves, no, no, no. And then, right. And then Twilight hit, and now they're like vampires, werewolves. Like they're always sort of tracing that trend. But, and there is some, I guess, strategic advantage if you're early on a trend and you really want to write that on platforms like Amazon, for sure. But you're going to burn out if you're not writing something you love. And it's going to be really hard to build an audience if you're constantly rushing towards the next hot thing. You want to be at the beginning of a trend, not the end of it. So Claude says this after-hours stream is very fun. So yay, I'm very glad you like it. Justin said, try Germany, France, and the Nordic countries. They're very open to U.S. writing, East European, but they don't pay much. And he says,
I don't mind. It's just I need query formats. Where do I find how to properly query them? There's a formula, there's like a precise method to query, like how many paragraphs, how many whatever. I don't have this.
I don't know. I know publishers at least in the UK pretty well, and they respond to a great story in the same way that anybody else does. I give them the basics, and I give them the basics of the story, give them the hook, give them the comps. So tell them what it is that, this book is appropriate for readers who like, this book or this book or this series or this series.
I have that.
Yeah. Here's the word count. Is it done? Is it not? Are you still working on it? And that's it. I don't they all, having been to 1 million of their presentations, that's how they sell that's how they sell their titles to librarians and booksellers in the US. I don't know why. My guess is that's exactly how they buy titles as well. Here's the story. Here's, it's appropriate for these people, for these readers. Here's how big it, how long it is. Here's the blah, blah, blah. Justin says, an advantage in Europe is that most publishers don't require that we have agents. We can do it ourselves. What? There you go, doll. Actually, although I do have an agent, I've sold more myself. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I have seen some really bad queries work. So I think a query is your example of writing. If it looks like you know what you're doing,
right?
I think you up your game right there. And Dal, your query has gotten better and better. So I think you're already ahead of the curve.
Yeah, nobody's going to say like, well, traditionally we like 4 paragraphs and she only included 3. So unfortunately, we're going to have to reject this one. All right. So Nicole says, sleepy Carol. She's been like waiting for her nap. Did you get your words done that will allow you to take your nap when we're done here? No. All right, we're gonna have to wrap this up. Miss Caro needs a nap.
Caro needs to sleep.
JL says, I've been at this for a very long time since books were typed on typewriters. Don't judge, we never will. And I've seen things go round and round and round.
That's totally coming back though.
Typewriters? Well, yeah, because I hold my little thing up all the time. I love that typewriter feel. I love the ease of the computer, but
I have my new one, which is
wait, hold on. Look, Sako just held hers up. Hold on, Robert. We want to see your brand new keyboard. Wait a minute. Let me make you big here. Hold on.
Yes.
That's nice. Nifty. That's really nice. It is. I love that feel. Michael CB Chen is here. Hi, Michael. We love you. She said you should vlog your nap, Carol. All right. Okay, you guys. I think this was a really good discussion, and I'm so glad you all stayed. I'm so glad you all stayed. And Carol will be vlogging her nap over on her channel. She will not. She will not. I do want to remind you guys, one, we'll be here next week, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you check your clocks because we have daylight savings coming up this week. If you
Mhm.
are in the Europe, if you are anywhere else in the world, I'm sorry that we do this stupid thing, and I apologize. The other thing is, if you guys are getting ready to plan your 2022 or just your November, we will have the Boozy Planorama coming up at 8 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, where we'll be doing our usual hashtag liquors and stickers Planorama, and that's going to be over. It's on your channel, right, Caro?
I'm the designated streamer. Yeah,
that's right. So Caro is our designated streamer for November. That comes up Sunday, 8 p.m.
Which means that I get to be the most sober person on the screen while everybody else drinks.
That is a nice thing. That is a nice thing. Nicole, thank you so much for being here. Nicole is streaming on Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, so you definitely want to check that out. JC says, bye. Thanks for the stream. We should do our outros. All right, Hope. Thank you. JL says, thanks for a great time. See you all next week. GD says, thanks for streaming and staying for the after party. Justin says, I also began in the typewriter era.
That's how I learned to type.
You have friends here. We love you. I did like, I had used a typewriter, but I've never like written as an author on a typewriter. But I do love the clickety clack of my awesome keyboard.
Yeah. The clackiness is nice. I need a tactile something. It can't be a mushy keyboard.
No. And that's the thing. I always love the Mac keyboards. I've worked on a MacBook for 100 years. And I always love the clackiness of my Mac keyboard. But they have gotten to be softer and softer and softer over the years. And now I don't like them anymore. I like this thing. So anyway, you think we should like buy stock in the company because I talk about my, right? I'm like, I love it. Anyway, all right, you guys, let's do quick outros. Thank you so much, everybody, for staying. Sleepy Caro gets to go first. Tell us about you, darling.
Hi, my name is Kara Brown. I wrote those books over there on the wall, except for this one, and I'm getting close to getting done with it. I came here today to work on Blood in the Rain, and I worked on it. And when I finish it after the stream, I'm gonna take a nap. And then you already did all the promo for the Boozy and everything else that's going on, so that's a thing. And thank you so much for having me, and I hope that you guys all have productive writing today. So.
Me too. Thank you, Caro. Story Detective. Thank you so much, you guys. First of all, because I always ask you guys to stay till 1. So it was such an interesting conversation, though. So thank you everybody for staying later today so we could finish this conversation, and everybody in the chat. Thank you guys too. All right, Robert, tell us a little about you.
Well, my channel is The Story Detective, which has recently been re-upped after about a year hiatus. So there are new videos over there, and hopefully there will be one coming Friday. My channel takes various forms of storytelling, puts it under a Sherlockian microscope, breaks it down, and gives the viewers craft to hope to make your craft journey easier. And I also do tech reviews. I do have some tech reviews coming up soon. And we shall see where things go.
Yay, we shall see, we shall see. Sakotumi, tell us a little about you and your channel.
Howdy neighbors, I'm Sako Toomey, also known as Cass Voigt. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those 3 things. In fact, if you are interested in videos that pertain to marketing for authors, I have a whole playlist of them on my channel, Sako Toomey Cass Voigt, and it's not just me talking, it's also Lisa and BC and Courtney Project and a bunch of other people. So please drop by sometime. I would love to see you.
Thank you so much. Cecil Runo.
Thank you for inviting me today. I'm Cecil Runo. I'm a blind storyteller for introspective readers. I am currently querying my sci-fi novel. We will see how that goes. Thank you for the tips. My YouTube channel is going to have a revival starting January 2022. I'm working on the scripts. Managed almost 1,400 words today, so I'm done with the script. I'm done with everything. Thank you so much for having me, and I'll see you soon.
Yay! Thank you guys all so much for being here. I am Lisa Daly. This is my channel, so thank you so much for being here. I'm a traditionally published author and now a hybrid author, and I write nonfiction and rom-coms. So thank you guys all so much for being here. We love you, and we will see you next week for more writing sprints. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Take care, everybody.